Hello, this is Mr. Huff, and I want to go over some follower tips for making the automata. Keep in mind, all of this construction must be done inside of your box. So you can look at the pictures I show you, but you need to make sure you're doing your gluing and assembling inside because you can't take the follower apart to insert it once you put it together. So in this case, you can see that there is a dowel rod and we want to put some sort of little plate at the bottom of it. I selected something that was sort of round. I could have done a better job cutting, but hey, it's going to work. Notice I made a little green dot that's going to show me where the center is, and I take the craft knife and I make multiple little cuts there to open that up and make it kind of soft. I don't go all the way through though, don't cut it all the way through. Then you're going to take the dowel and push it into that hole, and it should kind of stick on there. And then to assemble it, what you're going to do is put a drip of hot glue in that hole and then force the dowel into it, making sure it's perpendicular when you're done. And again, notice that the hole does not go all the way through, so we can see that this is one smooth plate at the bottom. For the square followers, I suggest cutting a piece of cardstock and then gluing that into place and checking to make sure it's perpendicular. Also, if you're putting it on a snail cam, the side that falls down the straight edge, make sure that piece of paper is folded up onto the back of the square follower so that it doesn't interfere with the action that you want from the snail cam. If you have it kind of curved out from the front and the back, it can interfere with how it behaves. Notice that I also put paper. What this does is what this is doing is the paper against the paper has a really low coefficient of friction, and that makes it where they turn smoothly. For minimizing friction, I have some tips for you. So one of the things I noticed right away is when you just let the follower ride along the edge of the plastic, like this piece here, it doesn't do very well. It doesn't like to slide across it. It gets hung up. It gets stuck. So to keep that from happening, we can wrap them in paper. And the most efficient way I found to do this was to turn the cam the direction it's supposed to be going in your automata, and you use the hot glue gun and make a little bead of hot glue all the way around the cam. And then while the glue is still hot, you take a thin strip of paper and attach it to the cam, and you guide it around the cam all the way until it crosses over itself. You should leave a little bit of paper at the end so that it overlaps and you can glue it down. So when you glue the paper to the paper, use regular school glue, not hot glue. If you get hot glue on the outside of this paper strip, it's going to act like a grip and get stuck. And these are things I've already noticed. So on all of these followers here, we have a little sheet of paper on the bottom to help them slide across the surface of the cam that's also wrapped in paper. This will minimize your friction. And that's all I have about tips for how to build things. If you have questions, please ask me, and we'll go from there. Get building.